Hello, Aqua here again, 1.5.2 beta, episode 9.1. This is going to be a bee episode, so if you don't like bees, you might want to turn off now. But you can give me a like for letting you know that you can turn off. Nah, I'm only joking. This is just for bees. If you don't like bees, you might not want to watch this one. I've already made this once, and I didn't like it would turn out, so I deleted it. I was going to make this later, but it turns out I've put episode 9 out today by mistake. I put it on upload while I was downstairs watching TV, and it uploaded quicker than I thought it would, and meant to be scheduled for tomorrow. I'm trying to keep one day in front in case things go wrong. So it looks like I need to do some 9.1 that I promised in episode 9. So first of all, I'm going to sleep because I don't want to be out there dealing with these guys in the dark. I should have done that before I started recording, but I didn't check. What we're going to do is, first of all, look at what you need to get going with bees. I don't want to do it too tutorially, so I'm just going to skim across stuff. I've actually got a cultivated and a common bee on the go, so I'm going to end up making another one here. First thing you need for bees is, of course, a scoop. With a scoop, you want to go and get some hive bees from the well. The two ones you need mainly are forest and meadows. Get about 4 each of these. Should get you a few princesses and drones of each. There is some of the ones we're going to need pretty early on. I might as well go grab one from over here. There's some in the desert. They're modest. Modest bees are really useful for certain bees we're going to need, like the demonic and the Edenic and some other stuff. So that's what a modest hive looks like. So you just hit that, left click that with a scoop. You can make a Thermcraft scoop, which is added by thermic bees. These frames are also added by thermic bees. They just kill a bee in one tick, so they're pretty useful when you're doing breeding. If you haven't got extra bees in. When we get a new version of this, it's going to have extra bees in, so I'll be using soul frames to increase my chance of mutation. But because we haven't got extra bees at the minute, I've got no soul frames, so I can't do it like that. This is the basic kind of setup you want to start with. Now these, as I say, I've got cultivated and common in now, which I've read it when I made the episode earlier, but I didn't like the way it went. So this is the kind of basic setup you want. First of all, you want a couple of redstone engines. Let's just dig down under there. A couple of redstone engines. I've got a redstone torch in between them, keeping them going. Wooden pipe. I've got gold pipe here. That could be cobble or stone or whatever you want. That's got a gold pipe. Then a couple of diamond pipes, and with that you can get a setup with some apiaries. I'm going to talk about apiaries in just a second. These diamond pipes, just put a drone and a princess in there. I've actually got forest in there, so it doesn't actually matter. I'm running cultivateds, it doesn't actually matter. I'm not getting enough through at the minute though, but in that side I've actually got it correct, I think, yeah. But it doesn't actually matter if you've got the right type of bees in there, as long as it's a princess or a drone is in the way you want to get back into your apiary. Now, I've got apiaries because I looted them from an NPC village. You might not be able to find an NPC village with apiaries in. You can make this thing called a bee house. The main difference with a bee house is it has no slots for frames there, and you can't automate it. So if I've got a gold pipe, just to show you, it won't connect to there. That can't be automated. Pretty good for doing manual stuff though, just to get you going. To get you going, a couple of things you need. A centrifuge that lets you make your combs into honey drops and beeswax. Honey drops are what you're going to need to start with. You're also going to need a carpenter to make a beelizer. I've got the pattern in there, so I've actually got a beelizer that I've been using. So there's my beelizer, and as you see, it's got honey in it. That's what it runs on. So you need the centrifuge to get the honey. You need a carpenter to make the beelizer itself, and then the beelizer you use to see what your bees are. I've also made a squeezer. The squeezer is also important. Squeezing seed oil is how you can actually make apiaries, but it takes quite a bit of seed oil, so you're going to probably want an automated seed farm to get any decent amount of seed out of that, seed oil out of that. It's a bit slow to start with. What we've got, just to show you how you make them. They are made simply with bronze. Put bronze into a square, you get a sturdy casing. Once you've got a sturdy casing, so just, I ain't going to make any minute because I ain't got that much bronze, but once you've got a sturdy casing, picture that was a sturdy casing there, then you want a bit of glass top and bottom, like so, and then depending which one of them you're making, one of them has copper ingots down the sides, one has tin, and one has bronze. So that's how you make them, guys. Pretty straightforward. That's them 3 machines there. Of course, they need buildcraft power, so you can't see it, but I've got a redstone conduit running behind there. That's powering them, so that's all good. So let's sling them back in there. As I said, I've got apiaries, and I shamelessly pinched them from NPC Village, which is the easiest way to get going with bees, I think, pinching some apiaries. That means obviously doing a bit of exploring to find a village. If you watch my beginner's guide, I was really lucky. I found one right near the spawn point. In this case, on this world, it was about 1100 meters that way. I found a village, and I grabbed these 2 guys. So let's have a look at what we do to actually breed these. So I'm going to sling my common drone and princess in there at the minute. These aren't me running long, so they're still stabilising. So they're getting some slightly different traits on. So that's why these aren't stacking. Let's just look at these 2 cultivators a second. You'll see that them 2 are the same, so they're stacked. This one's going to have something different. So what's different about this one? Slower, shorter, slower, slowest flowers. Shorter, slowest. So the speed's slowest, slowest on this one, whereas on that one it's slower. So what I should probably do is put them back in there, and then slower will get put back in, and they'll gradually stabilise into breeding bees. Same with these, they're a little bit different at the minute. We'll put them back in at some point. But what we're going to do now is we're going to use this to breed. So what I'm going to do, when I'm breeding, I actually don't want this to be automated. So for now, what I'm going to do is just going to set that wooden pipe out. Well, no, I'm not. My axe is too good, so I ended up bashing the engine as well. Let's just put the engine back. So the first thing you need is common bees, which is what I've just put in there. Common bees are made from any 2 hive bees combining. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to put a meadows bee and a forest bee in. And I'll put one of these oblivion frames in that I've lowered from a chest. And that'll mean it'll die in 1 tick. Each bee takes 27.5 seconds. So this is going to die in 27.5 seconds. And it's going to give us bees. So that's up to 27.5 seconds. So what it gave us there was 3 bees. And mutations decided when the bee dies. What we've got there is a forest meadows hybrid, a meadows forest hybrid, and a forest meadows hybrid. So what we've got there is we've got 3 hybrids. We haven't actually got a mutation to common. So we just put them back in again. So I'm going to put the forest meadows with a meadows forest, and this should give us a chance of mutation. So what we've got is we've got a chance of making a hybrid. We've got a 15% chance of a mutation into a common. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that 15% chance. Of course, with extra bees, you'd have soul frames in here. So it'd take longer, because you'd want all 3 soul frames in, really. You also need seed oil for them, of course, which is why the reason why I made the squeezer in there. And you'd want an automated farm, as I said. Melon is the easiest way to get going. The best yield is probably forestry multi-farms, but you need appetite and stuff for them, so you need a certain amount of automation to get them on the go. But I start off with melons. That's got us a pure, so that didn't go great. It gave us a pure meadows. So I'm going to put that back in one of these hybrids of a forest meadows. This is likely going to be pure meadows, but we'll see. We might get the breeding that we want. Of course, the other thing that I didn't put down, because there's already loads around here, is when you're making these, you need to put 1 flower down. So you need to go get 1 flower from somewhere. As you can see, we've got loads around here because this has been running for a couple of days. But basically, you just put in these 2 bees back in until you get lucky and you get a common. Now you may only get 1 common. If you put that back in again, see, we're not being lucky at all here. Some in the swamp past Fowley's pink castle. So I'm not being very lucky. I'm going to have to put this back in again. So 15% mutation chance. We should have seen something by now, but it's not going great. Forest meadows. So forest meadows with a meadows forest. So this is the most irritating part of bees. It's when you're just starting off and you've got nothing to really modify it. Once you get past a certain stage and you've got alveoles and mutator blocks, the breeding becomes a lot easier. Extra bees really does make bees more damaging. I never cared for bees until I played with extra bees. So this vanilla forestry, it's alright, but it's a bit hit and miss. Of course, the soul frames are extra bees, the alveoly mutator block side. Alveoly is vanilla bees, and that's what we're doing here actually. We need a couple of things to get going. This is not going great. Fire swords, good crack for killing pigs. Yeah, it is, yeah. Bacon. So yeah, this ain't going great at all. I've not even seen a common bee yet. This is why I got pissed off for the first time I recorded this. I was trying to get a common and there just won't come in. One thing you can do with these, if you've got Farmcraft, is every 8 bees you can put it into your crucible and turn it into vials. So every 8 bees you get 1 vial of the insect thing and 2 of the v0.2, the one that looks like a feather, a wing. So it's spare bees you can use for them if you've got plenty of. It's night time. I can't sleep because Jim's on. So I'm going to cut the camera out. I'll be back in a bit when it's daytime again, and hopefully we'll get a bit luckier. And I want to say at least a common, and then I'll probably skip getting to common and cultivated, and we'll start breeding some of these. Ideally though, I want to get a stock of like 64 each of these before we move on to anything else. I'll be back in a bit. So a couple more cycles, and we've got our first common bee there. It's probably not a pure, so let's have a look. It's going to be a hybrid. It's a common forest hybrid. There you go, and we've also got a meadows out of that. The hell was that? What was that? Was it a wisp? Maybe a wisp. Don't see one. Strange. So I'm going to put the meadows and the common forest back in there. So this should give us a better chance of becoming a common. It could also though become a cultivated, because a cultivated is any hard bee with a common bee. So we might end up getting some kind of hybrid with a cultivated. So let's see what happens with this one. You end up with quite a few drones that you can bin or save. It was a wisp, look, there it is. Was it you? No, that's a friendly one, it's not attacking me. I have no idea what it was then. No idea. Oh, we might be getting lucky here, let's have a look. So this guy, common meadows. If we're lucky, this will become a common. If we're unlucky, the worst that can happen is it'll become a meadows. We'll run this one, see what happens. For now, I'm going to bin all these. I've got plenty of spare bees. You end up getting loads. You can, with extra bees, you want to be saving them to make them into DNA. Well, of course I ain't got that yet. And I've got, let me in, I've got quite a few of these auras, v0.2 I mean, and bestiolas. So I've got 28 and 14 of them from the bees I made earlier. I'm probably just going to bin these ones I've got here once I've got the breeding bees that I want. Common princess, but no drone. Oops. The common meadows again. We're not being great. We're not being massively lucky here. You see that one there's mutated to a cultivated, so that's a hybrid cultivated. Let's try this common meadows and meadows common. Again, we're probably going to end up with bloody meadows again. Now, if you want to do this properly, there's you can work out your chances much better Just got attacked by an enderman, by the way. You can work out your chances much better using Floristar's videos on B University. Really good at explaining how the Mendelian genetics actually works, and you can make Punnett squares to see what chance you get of each bee mutating, and certain times hybrids are better to use. Now I'm being a look. This is what wound me up earlier, you see. Eventually you will get to common, but it's not guaranteed to be quick at all. Right, I'm going to cut there. We're back when I get a common. So just keep doing that really until you've got common cultivated. Until you've got a common. Now the ones that are cultivated you want to keep as well, because once you've got a common breeding pair, you want to breed a second lot to try and get to a cultivated breeding pair, and then ideally you want to let them run for a day or two, or a day I guess, or overnight. So you've got at least a stack of them. Come on, for God's sake, bees. Common. I've got pure. Hooray. So we'll put the pure in with the hybrid, and there's a chance it'll turn back into a meadows still. What you could do here, you could keep that to a side. Actually, get another princess is probably the best way to do that. So use one of your other princesses. Let's get another. Let's use a forest. So now we've got a pure bee. If that was a drone, you can do the same as well. Put it to one side. And we'll start off with forest meadows again. And then if we get a pure drone, then we've got a breeding pair. So you don't want to, when you get a pure like that, you don't want to waste it like I nearly did. I'm going to do it this way. That's pretty much all I'm going to do for this episode, because I want to get these running overnight. So this will be a real short one. But we'll get to the point where we've got them. Come on, be lucky. So yeah, 15% chance. It's not much, is it? It's the frames that you get. Come on, be a pure. Common forest. Meh. I'll keep that to a side for now, and I'll run around like a dick until that goes. I think this is why I never liked bees to start with. It's I think what you got out of them was not really worth this messing about. Especially, I mean, this is happening really quick because I've got these killing them. But without these things, I'd be having to wait like 10 minutes for each one of these iterations to happen. So it's very time consuming. Forest meadows, forest, back in you go. Slow, and yeah. Whee. The alvearies that you're going to need, I'll show you why. And no, I can't because my AI don't work properly. The joys of playing on a beta pack. To make alvearies, you need two things. Well, you need a couple of things. You need pollen, which is from industrious bees, and you need royal jelly, which is from imperial bees, which is why you need both. Why you need both of them. This is why what you want to do first, before you do anything else, is get to imperial, get to industrious, and that's what these cultivateds are the base for. Cultivateds and commons. So once you've got cultivateds and commons, you want to be getting like a stack of each drone. And the way you can make more drones is, if I got any of these hive bees, if I had like a stack of cultivated, if I had 10 cultivated in there, if I put any hive queen in here, after 3 or 4 cycles, that would become a cultivated with enough drones in here. So it maybe take you 3 or 4 drones. So you can make more cultivators quite easy once you've got cultivators producing drones. Same with, this is getting really tedious. Same with the see, look, that's the pure meadows again now. So Got 2 pures in there again. We'll see how it goes. I think I'm about to finish this, I think, and just show you how to go to the next step and get it cultivated. But see what this one does. So what you basically want, you want to get a stack of drones cultivated. Stack of drones are common. Keep the bees to one side that you use as your breeding pair. Eventually we can get the better fertility traits on them so they produce more, and then you can just use them to use as your base pair. So what happens is your next mutations, once you've got these 2 and you've got a stock of these 2, be pure, come on, I want a forest, back. Come on meadows. Should I risk losing that other one? What's this? Running out of bloody space. There's that many bees in here. I'm also out of honey. Right, I'm going to cut the camera back in a bit. Back again with irritating bees, and this time we've got, you saw there, we've got a hybrid meadows common, we've got a common, hooray, a common forest, and we've got a cultivated forest. So what we want there is, now we can use our common princess from before with our pure common drone, and now we've got a common breeding pair, which is what I was after. Wonderful. So let's stop that. Oops, too late. So that's a common queen. Now we'll put that to one side for later. That's a pure common. So we've got 2 pure commons now. So that and that are both pure commons. What we'll do now is, now we want to go for a cultivated, and a cultivated is any hive bee. So this is a hybrid. It's any hybrid with a common. So there's a chance that this can give us cultivated, which is why we've got a cultivated from before. So meadows common, cultivated forest should give us a cultivated, or something along the lines of. So you want to repeat that process. So you've got your cultivateds, and then, like I say, run them for a day or so. So you've got at least a stack of each of the drones of them, and then that'll be it for this episode. And 9.2 tomorrow, I guess, after tomorrow's episode, we'll start to cover going into either the Imperial branch or the Industrious branch. So as always, thank you very much for joining me. It's a bit of a shit video, but I just wanted to show you how I start my bees, and it's not very scientific or even probably not very entertaining, but at least I've included it. And it'll get better as we get to the better bees, but that's how I get started anyway. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, bye.